What if I told you that your home right now might be holding on to more than just dust and clutter? What if the very walls around you are soaking up the stress, the arguments, the heavy moods that linger like invisible cobwebs? And if energy really does get trapped in our spaces, then how do we cleanse it without chemicals, rituals, or endless gadgets? Could the answer really be as simple as bringing in the right plants? But not just any plants, because while some are just decorative, others have been treasured for centuries as living guardians of energy. Why do certain leaves shift an atmosphere the moment they're present? And why does fall, of all seasons, make this cleansing even more urgent? Maybe because as the outside world sheds and releases, our homes crave the same spiritual reset. So which plants can actually do this? Plants you can grow this very season to sweep away negativity and invite balance back in. Let's dive into the 7 spiritual plants that cleanse your home's energy this fall, starting with one that literally prays with you every single night. Have you ever noticed how some plants seem almost alive in a way that goes beyond just being green and leafy? What if I told you there's a plant that actually moves with you, not randomly but with purpose? The Maranta, better known as the prayer plant, folds its leaves together every evening as if it's bowing in reflection. But why does that matter for your home's energy? Because when this plant prays, it doesn't just look poetic, it reminds us that energy too needs a nightly reset. Imagine the atmosphere in your space, all the noise of the day, the digital clutter, even your own thoughts hanging heavy in the air. What if one simple plant could signal the shift from chaos to calm? That's exactly what Maranta does. And here's the question that keeps people hooked. Does the plant really cleanse energy, or does it awaken you to cleanse it yourself? Either way, it's powerful. It tells your subconscious, pause, reflect, reset. Isn't that exactly what fall is about? Letting go, folding inward, and preparing for renewal? Have you ever walked into a space and instantly felt like the air was heavy, almost as if the room itself was tired? What if there were a plant that could clear that weight in seconds the same way a cool breeze sweeps away a storm cloud? That's the power of eucalyptus. But why this plant, and why especially in fall? Think about it. As the season shifts, colds and congestion creep in, and so does stagnant energy. Isn't it strange how our bodies and our spaces both feel clogged at the same time? Eucalyptus solves both. It refreshes your lungs while symbolically refreshing your atmosphere. But how? Its sharp, cleansing aroma doesn't just open airways, it's been used for centuries in rituals of renewal and protection. So, here's the question. Does eucalyptus drive out bad vibes? Or does it simply awaken your own ability to release what no longer serves you? Either way, each leaf seems to whisper, breathe deeper, let go, begin again. And isn't fall the perfect season to practice that? Why do some flowers feel like sunlight you can bring indoors? And could that burst of color actually shift the mood of your entire home? Geraniums are more than just cheerful blossoms in a pot. They've been used for centuries as protectors of the household. But why would a flower be seen as a shield? Because energy isn't just dark and heavy. It can also be sharp, tense, or simply unbalanced. And have you noticed how a single bright bloom can instantly soften a room's edge? That's not just beauty at work, that's energy rebalanced. But here's the deeper question. Is the geranium pushing away negativity, or is it amplifying harmony so strongly that negativity has no room to stay? In fall, when shorter days creep in and shadows feel a little heavier, geraniums act like a torch in the dark, lifting spirits while guarding your space. Could it be that the real magic is not just in the flower, but in how it reminds you to create joy where gloom tries to settle? Why is it that some plants are called sacred while others are simply called houseplants? Could it be because certain leaves hold a reputation that stretches back thousands of years across cultures, rituals, and belief systems? White sage is one of those plants. But what makes it so different from the herbs you might sprinkle on dinner? For centuries, white sage has been burned in smudging rituals to clear out heavy energy. Some even call it spiritual bleach. But if it's that powerful in smoke form, what happens when you grow it alive in your home? Suddenly it's not just a bundle of dried leaves, it's a living, breathing source of cleansing energy right at your window. But here's the question. Does the plant itself purify, or does it remind you to pause and let go of what's weighing you down? And isn't that exactly what fall is about? Shedding the old, clearing space, and preparing for renewal? White sage doesn't just grow, it transforms your space into a sanctuary. The only question left is, are you ready to let it do its work? Why did ancient Greeks crown their heroes and poets with bay laurel wreaths? Was it just for the look, or did they believe the leaves carried a deeper power? Bay laurel has always been more than a kitchen spice. It's a plant tied to wisdom, courage, and protection. But how can a few glossy green leaves offer protection in your modern home? Think about it. Energy doesn't just arrive at your doorstep in obvious ways, it seeps in through stress, conflict, even the news you consume. And just like an umbrella shields you from rain, bay laurel has been seen as a shield for the soul. But here's the real question. Does it keep negativity out, or does it strengthen you so much that negativity can't even touch you? In fall, when everything outside is dying back and growing quiet, bay laurel stays evergreen, standing firm as a symbol of endurance. Isn't that exactly the kind of energy you'd want inside your home? Steady, protective, unwavering? A simple potted laurel can turn your kitchen or living room into a sanctuary of resilience. The only thing left to ask is, what will you use its strength for? Why do some plants look like they've been painted by an artist's hand? And could those patterns be more than just decoration? Could they actually mirror energy itself? The Calathea, with its striking stripes and vibrant designs, has long been called a living canvas. But why would a plant's beauty matter for your home's energy? Because beauty isn't just something we see, it's something we feel. And when a Calathea sits in your space, its intricate leaves seem to absorb heaviness and reflect back renewal. But does the plant itself cleanse, or does it quietly remind you that energy, like patterns, can always shift into something new? Here's what makes it especially powerful in fall. While everything outdoors fades into browns and grays, the Calathea insists on thriving in bold, radiant colors. Isn't that a message in itself? That even in darker seasons, energy can stay vibrant if we choose it? Some people call it the prayer plant's cousin, but isn't it really more of a spiritual artist, constantly showing you that transformation is always possible, even in the quietest months? Why would such a tiny herb carry such a mighty reputation? And how could something you sprinkle on roasted vegetables also cleanse the very energy of your home? Thyme might look humble in its little pot, but for centuries it's been considered a warrior plant. But what exactly makes it so powerful? In ancient times, thyme was burned to banish fear and invite courage. Roman soldiers even bathed in it before battle. But what does that mean for you here and now in your own living room this fall? It means this little herb doesn't just season food, it seasons your spirit, infusing your space with courage, clarity, and calm. But is it the plant's chemistry at work, or is it the story we carry about its strength that transforms us? Here's the magic. While other herbs may fade with the season, thyme thrives indoors, quietly reminding you that even the smallest presence can guard against negativity. Isn't that exactly the lesson of fall? That strength doesn't always roar, sometimes it whispers? And if one whispering plant can protect your home, what could 7 of them together do? So now you've seen it, 7 plants that don't just sit pretty in a pot, but actually shift the energy of your home this fall. But here's the question, do you need all 7? Not at all. Sometimes one plant placed with intention is enough to transform a space. But if one plant can cleanse, calm, and protect, what happens when you weave them together? Suddenly your home becomes more than 4 walls. It becomes a sanctuary. And isn't that what fall is truly about? The world outside is shedding, releasing, letting go. Shouldn't your space mirror that same renewal? Whether it's the prayerful fold of Maranta, the cleansing breath of Eucalyptus, the courage of Thyme, or any of the others, these plants remind us that energy is not fixed. It's always shifting, always ready to be renewed. So the real question is, are you ready to let your home breathe again? If you are, pick one, bring it in, and let the season work through you. And before you go, don't forget to like this video, share it with someone who needs a fresh start, and subscribe for more ways to turn your home into a sanctuary. Because this fall, the energy you invite in could change everything. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.